This is the game played between Alexander Ilyin-Zhenevsky versus Bobby Fischer, and the opening is Queen's Gambit declined. Alexander is playing white and Fischer is playing black. Alexander played d4. d4 is a book move, and this is one of the best openings, but Bobby Fischer gave this as number 2. He gave e4 as number 1. Fischer played d5. d5 also a book move, and it prevents the pawn from moving and also controls c4 and e4. c4 is also a book move, really sacrificing the pawn. This is a classic opening. e6 is also a book move, defending the pawn and entering the Queen's Gambit declined. This is a good move because it paves way for the black colored bishop. Subsequently, black can castle on the king side. Knight f3. Knight f3 is also a book move, supports the d4 pawn and puts pressure on the e5 square. Knight f6. Knight f6 is also a book move that develops the knight and supports the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Bishop g5. Bishop g5 pins the knight. Bishop e7. Bishop e7 is a book move. Out comes the bishop, helping to solidify the position. e3. e3 is also a book move. It defends the pawn. h6 is also a book move, and it kicks the bishop, and the bishop now, otherwise it will be captured. This is the correct move, still pinning the knight with the bishop. Fischer castles on the king side. Castling brings a rook into play. Knight c3. Knight c3 is also a book move, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. b6 is also a book move, and this prepares wing out of the bishop and fight for the light squared diagonal. Bishop e2. Bishop e2 a book move. It activates the bishop, and according to Bobby Fischer, bishop e2 is the best move. d into c4. d into c4 is a book move. This wins back the pawn from white. Bishop into c4. The pawn is taken back. Bishop b7. Is finked out the bishop and placing it on the powerful long diagonal. Alexander castles. Knight b d7. Knight b d7 is also a book move. This is developing the knight and increasing influence in the center, and also this supports the knight on f6 to defend the king side. In e2 connects the rooks, which help them to work together. Knight e4. Knight e4 is the last book move. This offers the exchange of pieces of equal value. Bishop into e7. This knight is not going anywhere because of the queen is attacked. Queen into e7. Queen into e7 is the correct and excellent move. Rook a c1. Now this knight is defended, and look at the board. White's all the pieces are developed, and black has got some pieces to be developed. c5. c5 is a fine move, fighting for the center. Rook f d1. Rook f d1 is a very good move. The rook is placed in the semi-open file. Rook f d8. Now black's rook is placed in the correct square. This is not a bad move, but correct move is knight into c3. Bishop a6. This offers to exchange the pieces of equal value. What is the benefit for white? It removes the black's strong bishop on the long diagonal. Knight d f6. Knight d f6 is the Very good move. This move defends the attacked bishop, of course by the queen. h3. This creates a loft for the king, providing it an escape square in case of it is attacked. Rook a c8. Rook a c8 is a last piece to be developed by black. After rook a c8, knight a4 is played. Knight a4 is a dubious move. It is not the right idea and it is inaccuracy. C into d4. This is a good trade. This maintains a balance in material. Knight into d4. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Knight c5. After making a bad move, black also makes a bad move, which is unusual for the great Bobby Fischer. But even champions make mistakes. Bishop into b7. Bishop into b7 is a very good move. Why? Because we have already explained. Queen into b7. After all the captures, this is an equal trade. Alexander played queen b5. Queen b5 is a very good move. We have already told that b5 is an important square for white. Knight into a4. Knight into a4 is a good move, but still better is knight e4. Queen into a4. Rook c5. Instead of rook c5, the other rook to d5 is better as shown. b4. b4 drives away the rook. Rook c d5. Rook c d5 is a good move. Now b5. Queen d7. Dribbling on the d file. But still better is rook a8. Always defend with a lesser power. Rook e1. e1 is a very good move. a5. a5 is a fair move. Knight c6. White's place claims an outpost, adding pressure with a tempo. Rook e8. Rook moved away. Rook e d1. Rook e d1 is a good move, as this e1 has got 3 pieces support, whereas black has only 2. Queen d6. Queen d6 is the strongest option for black. Queen b3. Queen b3, very strong reply. Rook into d1 check. This maintains balance in the material with a good trade. Rook into d1. Queen c5. Attack from the rook. a4 creates a pawn chain. Linked pawns are very strong in the endgame. Knight d5. Knight d5 is a dubious move. The knight has no purpose coming there. Rook d4. Rook d4 is a very good move. Queen c1 check. King h2. Queen c5. Queen goes back. Queen d3. Instead of that, rook c3 is better. Rook f8. This is the worst move. There is no purpose for the rook, and up to this the position was equal. Now black becomes worst. g3. g3 is the strongest option available in the board that controls the knight. Knight f6. Again a mistake. Bobby Fischer started making mistakes after mistake. This allows the opponent to win a tempo by threatening queen. Rook c4. Rook c4 is a excellent move. A good use of time, thinking and finding the only very good move in the position. This wins a tempo by threatening the queen and forcing it to move away from a strongest position. Queen h5. Clearly the correct move for the threatened queen. Rook h4, driving away the queen. Queen c5. Queen c5 is not a very good move. Better is to play queen f3, rook c4. A good use of time, thinking and finding the only good move in the position. This attack on the queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. Again queen h5, rook h4, queen c5, queen d4, queen into d4, rook into d4, rook e8. Instead of that, rook a8 is better. King g2. King g2 is not necessary now because there is no attack on the king. Better to move f3. e5. e5 is a good move, threatening the rook. Rook c4. Rook c4 is a very good move. Knight d7. Knight d7 is a good move. It supports two pawns. King f3 indicates the start of the endgame. f5. f5 is a good move, trying to nullify the white's pawns. Rook c1. Knight c5. Knight c5 is a dubious move. There is no use of that. The better move is to create a pawn chain by moving g6. This permits the opponent to sacrifice a rook for the nice tactic that will break the pawn chain. Rook into c5. Rook into c5 is a brilliant move as shown. B into c5. b6. Now the pawn starts march past. c4, b7, c3, king e2. King e2 is a great move, taking care of the pawn on c file. c2, king d2. King d2 is also a great move. King f7. After that, Bobby Fischer resigns. This is one of the rarest game that Bobby Fischer getting defeated. But of course, he was too young when the game was played. He was playing against a Russian champion. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Please subscribe so that you can see many more beautiful games of these world champions. Thanks for watching once again.